What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with what was supposed to be the deck that won the poll on the channel. For those of you who don't know, I put up a poll on the channel, and Rakdos, Double, Anvil, Dominus, whatever, won the poll. And I spent the whole day preparing myself for that video, and I just kept losing. Like, I went from upper 200 Mythic right down to the low 90s, trying like various different builds of it. So it was just a complete no-go, so I scratched that one. So then I went, okay, can't win with the one that came first in the poll, let's go with the numbers 2, which was Sultai Toxic. Kept losing. I even went back to like some old faithfuls, like my pillars, mono red and things. Kept losing. It was just one of those days where the algorithm has it out for you. So I gave up, went to bed. That's why there was no video last night. My apologies. I woke up this morning, I deleted the poll. So again, my apologies, but I had to go back to the drawing board. And during that moment of like pressure and you know, I was like, okay, clean slate, let's go. And I birthed this brew sometime this morning, and I've just been having incredible fun. Very good win rates. It feels like something is just like clicked. It's one of those brews that I threw together very quickly, and it just like does what it's supposed to do. There's still maybe a few little things to iron out, but it's a goodie. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew, simply called Oil Rebirth. And the reason for that is we're playing this insane card, Vat of Rebirth. It's a 1-mana artifact. Whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put an oil counter on it. Then you pay 3. Only 3. 2 colorless and a black. Tap it, remove 4 oil counters. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yes, activate only as a sorcery. They had to put that on there because, like, you know, you should be able to do this with artifacts, even during the opponent's turn and thing. That would have been way too busted, but regardless, it's incredibly busted. Because, of course, if you already build your deck in such a way that you are sacrificing creatures or putting artifacts into graveyards, then you can anyway quite quickly put those 4 oil counters on there. But if you try to, like, really make it the focus of your deck, then there's oil counters flying all over the place. It's very easy to put the 4 on there. Like, incredibly easy. Often the very next turn after, you know, like turn 3. Which is when you've got the mana to do it. You know, turn 4 usually. And that is just insane to me because the decks, this is a Rakdos Atraxa reanimator deck, which is leaning heavily on the oil, new oil theme from New Phyrexia. This means that essentially the Archfiend of the Dross, which we'll get to, the many cross synergies with this one, and the Atraxa are really just our reanimation targets. We're not looking to hard cast these things, although the Archfiend we often can. We're looking to reanimate these things. So actually our mana base, you know, our mana curve ends at 3, which means I've been able to trim 2 lands. We've gone down to 22. And, you know, through the oil, the treasures from Fable as well. I mean, honestly, we don't really need to go past 4 mana. And the whole deck comes along just fine. And that cutting those 2 lands has made it so that I can run 4 ofs of almost all the important cards in the deck. So that it's incredibly consistent. The only 3 ofs are the Go for the Throat and the Abrade. Everything else is just 4 ofs. So nice and consistent. Yeah, it's been just incredible. So, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Vat of Rebirth is our reanimation spell. Instead of like a 5-mana Invoke Justice, Cruelty of Gix, Graveyard Shift, like all of the reanimation spells are 5 mana. We got a 1-drop is our reanimation spell that you can do for 3 mana. It's just anyway. Can't stop gushing about this card. If you haven't seen it yet, you're welcome. So how else can we put oil counters on it to make things faster? Well, let's go over the obvious ones first. Sacrificing a blood token to draw and discard, which is what you want to do with your blood tokens in this deck, because it's another discard outlet for your reanimation targets. When you sacrifice your blood token, that's putting an artifact into a graveyard. That'll trigger your Vat of Rebirth. If you use the treasure from your Goblin Shaman to cast a spell, and the treasure, is tapped and then sacrificed for mana, that counts the same as the blood token. That will put on there. Then, of course, your opponent removing your Bloodtithe Harvester, your opponent removing your Goblin Shaman, things that you do in every game, will be putting oil counters on your Vat of Rebirth. But it doesn't end there. We've got a full playset of the Churning Reservoir. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact of or creature you control. So you guys would have already seen this deck, this card in all of my Urabrask's Forge decks. It obviously synergizes very nicely because you make the little horror bigger and bigger every turn. In this deck, you're just putting those oil counters on the Vat of Rebirth, and you just get to 4 so quickly. And you have a couple of Churning Reservoirs down, you just keep reloading your Vats. You often have 2 Vats down, you can double reanimate. I've had some bonkers games. As opposed to, again, Cruelty of Gigs, Invoke Justice and that. You've only got 4 copies in the deck. Once you've used them, you're not going to be reanimating again. So with the Vat, you can just sometimes people will kill my Atraxa. The very next turn, I bring it back again. It's insane. But it doesn't end there. We've also got the Archfiend of the Dross, which, if you guys haven't played against this card yet, or with this card yet, then you won't know. But basically, when you run out of oil counters on it, you lose the game. So you need to either end the game before it does, or put more oil counters on it. And people have been trying to proliferate, including myself. But Churning Reservoir, just put 1 oil counter on there. And the synergy doesn't end there, because you're removing an oil counter from the Archfiend every upkeep. The Churning Reservoir's activated ability says that you can create a 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin creature token only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you control this turn. So when the Archfiend loses in the beginning of the turn, then you just put a new one on with the Churning Reservoir, and now your Churning Reservoir is active, and you can make a little Phyrexian Goblin, and you'll be surprised how often these come in handy for chump blocking and whatnot, and allowing you to continue with your game plan. Just fantastic little bit of synergies between Vat, Reservoir, Dross. So this is an alternate win con. Of course, we'd just like to swing in the air with a 7/7 Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, which is often the way we win the games. But the real win con here is the Archfiend. It just keeps coming back. You never lose enough oil counters to lose the game. If the opponent removes it before you can kill it, just bring it back. It's non-legendary, so it's copyable with the reflection of Kiki Jiki. It's been amazing. And that's the deck, really. The only other thing that's differs from an average kind of Rakdos deck is a full playset of Bitter Reunion, which is our second discard outlet. We've got the blood tokens from the Bloodtithe Harvester, the Bitter Reunion, and the Chapter 2 of the Fable to discard our reanimation targets. The Bitter Reunion then can also, for 1 mana, give creatures haste. So with 4 mana total, you pay 3 for the Vat and 1 for the haste, and you give your Atraxa haste on turn 4. I've had it happen and swing in for 7 and refill your entire hand, because Atraxa looks for different card types, and we've got a nice spread. We've got creatures, we've got enchantments, we've got sorceries, we've got instants, we've got artifacts. So often I get 5, you can get up to 6 different cards, and of course, and lands count as a card type. So just get a full new hand and swing in with a 7/7 on turn 4. It's not uncommon. Lots of different cool lines. I can't wait to show you. I've done enough gushing about the deck. The only other thing I need to add is a sneaky 2 of Monumental Facade as an alternative way of putting some oil counters on the Vat of Rebirth or the Archfiend in a pinch. 1 Takenuma, 1 Sokenzan, and then the full 12 duels that Rakdos has access to, and some gorgeous Godzilla lands. That was a lot of talking. Let's jump into some games. See how the deck performs. Lower Mythic, 90%. I'm really looking forward to climbing back up now after that terrible day. J Metro. Not amazing, but I'll keep it anyway. It's still just a pretty good hand. Absolutely. Definitely going with that. Oh, thanks. I'd love to discard something. I worry about Graveyard Trespasser, but then sort of Forest. Yeah. The blood token. If he -2s, that's fine. If he doesn't, then we can still discard the Atraxa to a +1 and swing. He seems to also be wanting to reanimate things, which is pretty scary. First game, of course, the matchmaker decided to pay me against another reanimator deck.
Off you go.
Fable. Has to be the Fable. It's just a better play. But this Liliana is a bit annoying. Trying to think if we have any graveyard hate. Not really at all. Kinda sucks, because that is a cruelty of gigs coming my way. I'd rather do it now than when my Fable transforms.
Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Oh wow, it's a fight rigging deck. It's got Tamio safekeeping. That's cool. Okay, let's get the oil going. Boonk, boonk. I'll take that. Heat. So here comes Atraxa. Even nicer. Thank you. So let's put the oil on this one instead this time. Oh baby. Refill. So for the threats he's running, yeah, well, we can definitely get a bit of reunion and that. And the only sorcery in the deck. And I think Archfiend is the way here. Bye-bye. Oh, guys, I'm telling you. With how little resources we would then... Once Atraxa hits the board, you get that then the lands, you don't need all these lands. Like 22 has been fine. There's an odd game where I brick out and I can't get to my third land, but otherwise like 3-4 lands, and then you just get that Atraxa back, and it's off to the races. All right, game number 2. I want to copy the Archfiend with Kiki Jiki. That's my like. Nah, that's fine. Opponent. Dumuch. I'm Dumuch. And I am not at my computer. Aha! There she is. Hey-oh. Mono white mid-range. They run artifact removal, white does. Oh. Baby, baby. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Oh, baby. Oh. Pallid haunting and things like that. Of course. I'm certain he's playing copies of what's the card I'm thinking of, the new one? Ossification. Skadoosh. If you don't find something for the reflection, you're in for some serious duties. Okay. That sucks. It's also okay. Watch this. Boop. Hey-oh. And of course, when it dies, the copy that you make with the reflection is another thing going to the graveyard, puts another oil count. I mean, bye-bye. Got him. I've lost very little. I wish I had, like, I played a lot on my phone today. So I don't have the win rates on Untapped, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Alright, game number 3. How are we doing for time? Breezy. Least another 3 matches. Come on. Obviously, like, heavy graveyard hate decks are like a problem, but not entirely. Yeah, sure. It's not amazing, but got a lot of like our filtery guys. Lucas Mans. What you got, bro? What you got, bro? Okay, now we need to just find one of our 8 reanimation targets. And it's not looking as good as the others. But you'll be surprised. Let's get some resilience going here. This card deck's kind of helping me out. Another reanimated deck? Some self-mill? I mean... Okay, so you just -2. No, it has to be
without you.
Woo.
This was an unlikely.
Oh no, whoops. Oh, I got nothing left to discard. Interesting concept though, I like it. People getting creative. Double block, I'm okay with that. You know, Fable and Bloodtithe Harvester can just win you a game by themselves. 4, 5, 6. I'm worried about like a Titan of Industry, I guess. Yeah, it is. Woohoo! Alright, we just need to find our Vat of Rebirth. That's just gonna kill you slowly. It's not really helping, is it? Purposeful suicide on the guy just to get an extra goblin, clear the board. We may just be able to cast Atraxa with the treasures.
This will be quick.
I think, yeah, we can already do so. Oh. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Whew. It's Atraxa time, the unconventional route. And we've got the haste. Bye. You know, you can always just use treasures if you don't have the reanimation spell. Alright, 3-0. Swift and easy. Let's keep the streak alive and go on to game 4. Gen 97. Ooh, we're creeping up again. Nice. Nice. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I just need Fable or... Okay. No. I'm gonna use the Harvester to kill Talia. So we need the blood. Then we use... if we had one more land, we could reanimate Atraxa now. So instead, we go for the Fable. Line it up for next turn. However... What does it say exactly? Can't be targets of spells or abilities. So we need to kill Denick first. Come on, removal spell. Oh! And well, at least we get to play an Archfiend. It's probably gonna get countered by that guy. Which is fine. I hope. This deck is probably one of the most busted and least played. Roberto, if you're watching this, I know you're having fun. This is a deck I really don't enjoy. But it's very strong. Shield red, blah, blah, and it's just all... I mean, it's Esper Legends. Esper Legends plus Skrelv. Denick is just single-handedly shutting down my entire plan here. Can't possibly have another tie, right? Or lose. I have to let a lot of damage through now, but if Kiki Jiki survives, I can start doing double Dross swings. That's no bueno. Eh. One. I'll just leave enough mana for Kiki Jiki. We can do it at end step better, obviously. Then we just make another one beginning of next turn and swing for 18. Little chump blocker action from the goblins. We're down to 9 though, so like I'm worried about, I don't know what, Shieldred. Raffine. Raffine. Does he swing with Raffine? I mean, what? What can he possibly do now? Retroactively block black. So I block with red. Whoop-de-doo. More that. Now we copy the Archfiend. And we draw a freaking removal spell. Oh, goose rubber. Flooding now, really? All I need is a removal spell for Danny. Oh my god, this is driving me crazy. Unbelievable. The pious apprentice. Padre Pio. So he goes for black. I just 2, 3, 4, 5 damage I can do. So he only can gain 1 more life. Means I can kill the pious father here. I should be able to at least. Woohoo! If he has another one in hand, I'm gonna probably just lose my mind. Of course he does. No? Oh! Okay, I mean, we've got enough oil in here to reanimate a freaking army. Yeah. One. Yay. Four. Not bad. We can also just swing. Gain 7. Whew. That was lovely. I don't know why he swung there with the Denic. Maybe he didn't do his math properly. But now I feel much better. Back up to 16. We've got a death touchy boy hanging out in the wings, and there's no Denic crimping my style. Also, Atraxa is like a bunch of different colors. So it's a bit easier to give it... they can give it protection from... Yeah, black will do. Sure, man. Sure, dude. Obviously, I'm blocking Urtai and gaining a bunch of life. And now, my friend, you are screwed. Because I shall go. Oh, I love it. I just love it. I'm freaking loving this deck, guys. I'm telling you, Vat of Rebirth is the truth. We found our way around Esper Legends as well there, 97%er towards the end. A slightly unorthodox deck with like sweepers and stuff, so I'm pretty stoked with that. And we have not quite arrived at the 45-minute mark yet, so we definitely have some time to talk a little bit about the brew in my final thoughts and overall review. What can I say? Oil, definitely my favorite archetype from the new set. It's cool, like it's usable for so many different things. And this particular brew, one of my top, 10 in the last couple of months, like definitely freaking banger. I highly recommend it. I think the 4 Brotherhoods, and some people might think that's overkill. You told me that when you can keep mono red in check for a little bit longer than usual. Atraxa, we didn't quite get the like turn 3, turn 4, reanimation that I was hoping for. But still, you saw how like resilient and how many plan Bs and things we have. And then copying the Archfiend with the Fable, with the Kiki-Jiki is amazing. I mean, just on and on and on. I can't stop gushing. I hope you take it for a spin. And let me know in the comments, of course, as always, how it goes for you. And if you make any changes, run different numbers of things, anything that I should have obviously put in that I must have missed somehow. But, when I find a little sweet spot like this where I'm just winning and the deck feels functional, I don't like to tinker with it too much after that. It's just like, okay, this is it. Mwah. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all the day after tomorrow with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.